Chapter 13 Let the Good Times Roll. Dagna POV. Ladies and gentlemen, today, we are brought here by the death of one of my good friends. Theron was one of the first people I met coming to theaters. He was wise but never bragged, powerful but humble. Today is a sad and horrible day. Let us have a moment of silence. I have no idea what was going on. When I got news on the group's return, I quickly had to clean up the mess I caused in the library, but I think I got it all cleaned up. The first person to meet me on the porch was Sky, carrying a young woman with horns and wearing a bikini. I got the feeling that this was a normal mission thing. Sky gave me a quick nuzzle before marching into the house. Just about everyone came back except for Nick, Nat, Neria, Theron, Jack, and Julie, but that didn't last long. Nick came up the house with one Theron smirking and tied up, the ladies following close behind. Lanaya stopped at the edge of the ship, knowing all too well that the shield would bounce her off. Nick then had everyone come out and give Theron his last goodbye, because he was going to, and I quote, meet his ancestors, unquote. I swear, Nick loves to overact. He tied Theron to another rope and tied that rope to a 1-ton 7-foot boulder. Nick, you know I'm still very much alive, yeah? Theron called out. He now had a slight worry in his voice. You're dead to me, and soon to everybody else. Don't interrupt me, you corpse. Now where was I? Ah yes, today we will be releasing his body back to the sea, where all his people believe souls return to. I didn't know that. Elves have such an interesting culture. That's not what my people believe. Oh, Nick is just making things up again. Silence. No more words from the corpse. Does anyone have any words for the dead? I don't even get a last meal, Theron called out, struggling with the ropes. No. Anyone else? What's going on? Good question, Aiden. Theron here, along with some of you, have conspired to have me contact the elven gods. Mark my words, I will find you. Now, time to give my dearly departed friend a proper send-off. He then made a stance like he does when he moves the earth and launched the boulder into the lake. We all turned to the ridiculous amount of rope he tied Theron to. Theron was now flopping like a fish trying to free himself. Let's talk about this. Sure buddy, you got about 30 seconds. The rope was following the boulder rather quickly. I'm innocent. Didn't you stand over me laughing about how all this was your master plan? Nick asked. No. Enjoy your last dip. Nicholas, don't you think this is a bit much? Duncan called out. I must send a message. The rope ran out and was pulled taut. Ah, Theron screamed, but he didn't go anywhere, just flopping around on the floor. Oh, I didn't fall into the water to drown. Whoa, he returned back to normal. Thought I wasn't going to make it. Show some emotion then. Of course, I wasn't going to really kill you, just make you poop your pants. I didn't poop my pants, but on a completely unrelated point, could someone hit me with a cleaning scale? Gross. Nick accommodated him. Let this be a warning to the rest of you. I will find you, and you will poop your pants. In fear, he snaps his finger and Neria's armor turns to a bikini made of leaves. Neria covered herself. Hey, the void, she screamed. Oh my. Did you think I forgot about your part? I hope Theron paid you well, because now you get to wear that for a week. Month. Year. That's not fair. Also, why does it feel like I'm wearing armor? 'Cause it is only an illusion. It'll be crazy if I took away your armor. You need that so you don't die. Just because I want to punish you, doesn't mean I'll put your life in danger. Besides, he pointed to Duncan, who was also wearing a leaf bikini. Wow, he was hairy. You're not the only one. This is childish, Nicholas, and I'm not this hairy. Sorry, never seen you without your armor, so I had to guess. Nick, how long do we have to see them like this? Alistair asked. Probably for a day or two. See how I'm feeling. Why, you wanna join them? He does, answered Alyssa. Goodness, Alyssa's one thirsty deep stalker. He does not, Alistair corrected. He was a part of the plot, Theron called out. Liar, you just want others to suffer with you. Nick snapped his finger at him. By the stone, Alistair was not in a leaf bikini. He was wearing some leather pants, only leather pants. Nice, Alyssa gave Nick a thumbs up. Change me back. I didn't do anything, Alyssa just pushed him into the house. Dagna, I jumped to my feet. Get ready, I have learned new ancient magic, which means you will now learn new ancient magic. As for the rest of you, we have about a month before Al Aman reaches Danerum, so if you have something to do before then, now is the time. New magic, yes. Hey, what about me? Theron called out. Nick picked him up and walked out to the border of Mother Base. I was right next to him. As his apprentice, I had to be by his side to show a unified front. Well, that's what Julie said. Of course, she did went on about how this would lead to me starting an illicit affair, where one day she and Jack wouldn't be able to stop his insatiable lust and he would take me and make me his woman. Jack then hit her over her head, stopping her from continuing her extremely detailed story about how Nick would use me to relieve himself with my body. Ah, my face is heating up again. Jack told me to ignore her sister. Something about how all of Julie's sexual knowledge was made up of cheap smut books and that I should just stay close to Nick because he was more of a hands-on teacher and was better at teaching in the moment. Here, Nick's voice broke me from my daydreaming. He tossed Theron to Lanaya. Take care of this, will you? Ah, clearly Lanaya had no idea what was going on. I'll give you a tour of Mother Base. Ah, the flying island, he clarified. Oh, okay. Leave it to me. She dragged Theron away. Ow, ow, ow. Hey, don't carry someone by their feet. My head's hitting every rock we pass by. We heard Theron call out as they disappeared into the camp. Come, my young apprentice. I shall tell you about the new magic I have learned and what is expected of you. Oh yeah, new magic. Let's do this. / Nick POV. You have slept in your bed. HP, MP, and CP are full. All ailments have been cured. I woke up with Julie on my chest. I gave her a kiss on the head and gently moved her, allowing her to sleep late. With us no longer having to hoofing it through the forest, she could sleep all she wanted. I want pancakes, she muttered. I gave her one more kiss on her lips, cleaned myself with a cleaning scale, and walked out of my room in my PJs. Nikki, Sky called out coming down the stairs and gave me a kiss. She was getting bolder and bolder. Ever since Jackie gave her the go-ahead to make some moves, she has been giving me morning kisses. That didn't keep her satisfied for long. She's been using her tail to feel me up. I think she's showing off her scales, so I made sure to rub them and show awe. She would gain a smile so bright it would blind me with its wholesomeness, but with our return to Mother Base, she is no longer satisfied with simple praise and kisses. She would grab my ass and pull me close to her body. Jackie and Julie would run interference and would take a kiss for me. Sky didn't seem to care. Since they were part of her thunder, they were hers as much as she was theirs. Your kisses are the best. Julie's kisses are sweet and hot. Jackie's are tingly and sweet. Ayla's are warm and soft. You though, you're shocking. Bright. They make my tail curl in joy and head float. But they also make my scales itchy. They make me want more. She grabbed me and pulled me close. Her breath was both cool and warm, and it made me shiver. I want you, tonight. I gave Julie her night and Jackie said she could wait for my week to end. She nuzzled me. Will you scratch my itchy scales? This time I brought her into a kiss. Yes. She gave me one last squeeze and walked into my room to cuddle with Julie. What a woman. As I walked into the living room, I found Neria, Ayla, Astral, Sten, and Shale, telling an awestruck Dagna about the journey through the forest. And then the dragon appeared. We were ready to fight, but Sky just beat her up real quick. Ayla seemed to have gotten to the point where we ran into Astral, acting out the fight. That seems anticlimactic, Dagna pointed out. Ayla shrugged. Sky took Astral's challenge personally. I think it's a dragon thing. I could have taken her. She just attacked me when I wasn't looking. Astral yelled in her defense. Besides, if she wasn't there you all would be in my belly right now. I came up behind her and pinched her cheek. Ah, is that right? You wanna test that? There's a training room downstairs. We should test your words. Yes, I find its words to be annoying, Shale commented. I would have crushed you like a bird. Ow. She slapped my hand away. That hurts. You, dumb landwalker. That's dumb, big brother, landwalker to you, young lady. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, dummy. I don't have to make sense. I'm the older sibling. I began making my way into the kitchen. Can you at least remove this stupid illusion? Neria called out. I looked over at her and smirked. Snapping my fingers, I made the leaves smaller, just covering her nipples compared to the previous large palm leaves that covered her breast. Ah, she covered herself. Ya damn perv. I laughed. Take your licks. The more you fight it, the worse I'll make it. This is your punishment. Learn from this. All I'm learning is that you're a perv. And look at Astral, she's only wearing a bikini. I don't like clothes. They feel weird against my scales. I like this. I wished for it to be made of shiny yellow stone, but nuck. Nick, Ayla corrected. I'm going to have to teach Astral how to read and write. She does have a better grasp of language than Sky. Is it because she's younger, or maybe because she lived in a mana-rich area? Right, Nick. He said that if I'm good he would make me one out of gold. Then I'll show that oversized bird who's most beautiful. She has been like this since we began our journey back to the Dalish camp. She would challenge Sky at everything: food eating, roaring, running, flying, punching, kicking. Sky beat her at everything. I had to give her extra meat to keep her spirits up. She seemed to be warming up to us, but still keeping us at a distance. I think my char stat makes people be more at ease around me. Yes, you're beautiful. What do you want for breakfast? Meat, Astral ordered. Oatmeal, Sten called out. He liked bland food, something about how it reminded him of his morning meals with his team. I don't need sustenance, Shale answered. Should I build her a stomach? Egg sandwiches, Ayla called out, running ahead of me to get a seat at the counter. Pancakes please, Dagna followed her. More clothes would be nice. I gave her the people's eyebrow. But I can eat pancakes. I smiled. One of these days, Nick. Boom bam zoom. Straight to the moon. Looks like TV has gained another loyal viewer. I snapped my finger and gave her back her original amount of bikini. You and Nat sure do like it rough. She punched me. Wow, I see why Naisha punches you all the time. It feels great. I smacked her on the ass, causing her to yelp and jump. Why you? She was blushing up a storm. What? You wanted to act like Nat? That means you get her punishment. I smirked as I walked past her into the kitchen. Ya perv. Yeah, but you love me. Breakfast really kicked off after everyone joined in. Astral started challenging Sky to an eating contest, breath holding, and tail wrestling. At some point Shale, Okran, and Serada got involved and they started lifting things to see who was strongest. It was a close match, but I had to put a stop to it, lest they start tearing Mother Base for heavier objects. Note to self: create weights that can give the ladies some challenge. With breakfast finished, Dagna, Jackie, and I left Mother Base and headed into the village to see if Theron was still alive. The village was far livelier than before, I guess with the threat of werewolf-related death no longer hanging over their heads. Loosen 'em up a little, who knew? Walking through the camp, elves would wave at us with happy smiles. What a weird change from the borderline hostile glares I got the first time I was here. Hello, I called out from the tent Lanaya was in last night. Ah, Sir Nicholas. Lanaya came out looking disheveled. Someone had a rough night. It's good to see you. Theron's well, still alive. I mean, shouldn't he be? It's only been like 8 hours. Hope he didn't cause you any problems. He does tend to get rather grumpy when he doesn't eat enough. I'm willing to replace anything he may have eaten. He probably ate people out of house and home. Oh, no. It's okay after everything your group did. What's a little food? It's never just a little food. How much? 15 pounds of meat, and 16 pounds of fruits and vegetables. Good Lord, you leave these wardens alone and they'll eat everything within reach. I summoned a crate of meat weighing 40 pounds and another crate of various fruits and vegetables. She said he ate about 30 pounds of food, but that was a straight-up lie. Wardens, if left alone, would eat half their weight in food. They seem to have gained some nasty side effects of becoming wardens. Oh, this is a lot. She looked at the crates. It's fine, the crate will keep any food from spoiling, and yes, it will still work after you open it. She looked at the crate like it was the Holy Grail. You're giving this to us. Do you need it in writing? I summoned a piece of paper, writing out the full release of the crates, and made a wooden stamp with a grey warden seal and blue ink. You have gained 35 express for creating a wooden stamp and ink. I walked over to Theron, who was still tied up. Did she feed him? I untied him and passed him the stamp. I need a notary. I signed my piece of paper, passing it to Lanaya, who looked more impressed by the pen I handed over. Lanaya. Oh, right, she signed her name. I then gave it to Theron to stamp. Am I allowed to stamp this? Theron examined the stamp. You're a warden. I'm pretty sure stamping papers is part of the job description. He shrugs and stamps the paper. There, you now own 2 preservation boxes. Now, how are we with the elves? Yes, with the curse no longer attacking our people, we have sent out men and women to the other clans. It will take some time for us to unite. We are planning to meet north of here. I pulled out a mirror phone and passed it to her, after a quick explanation, her calling me 3 times on accident, and her going into a story about how her people also had something like that. At one point I just nodded along to her words. And that's why butt play is allowed. What? Theron was just nodding like he's heard this for the 100th time. Yeah, super interesting. So, when do you think we can expect you in Denerim? She was playing with her phone. I snapped my fingers in front of her, bringing her back to reality. Right, we should be there within 2 months. I'll call you if something happens. Now about that tour. Quest completed. The lady's gone wild. The elves have been stalked by Zathrian's curse. If you wish to have the nimbleness and expert marksmanship of the elves, you must find a way to break the curse. Rewards: 35 gold, 30,000 express, 1 gold loot box, friendly with the elves, 1 gacha token. / Nasha POV. For a huge ship, Mother Base has never been smaller. I haven't run into anyone, but I wasn't able to escape my pursuer. I was planning on just running into the Dalish camp to meet up with Nick, but Sky was guarding the exit. Nat, where are you? Julie was getting closer. Sneaking into the kitchen, I hid behind the counter. What are you doing? I turned to see Alistair also hiding behind the counter. Alistair, what are you doing here? Nick banned you from the kitchen. Oh, I thought Alyssa would want a sandwich. You're a terrible liar. It's this illusion, it's making her go wild. I need a break. There's only so much I can do. Gross. And sir, you decided to hide in the one place that will signal someone that you're in here alone. What? It can do that? Yeah, Nick put a red light outside that goes off if you're in here alone. But it was strange, the light wasn't on. Since when? I think when we saved the Arl. What? That was months ago. Shush, I didn't need Julie hearing him. Keep it down. Do you want to give away our position? Why are you even here? Julie's looking for me. Why? The bet. The bet, I thought she. Yeah, no, back in the forest. Kiss. The word you're looking for is kiss. I know the word. I'm a gentleman. A gentleman doesn't discuss those things. Are you telling me guys don't talk about all the sex they have? Look at his blushing face. Of course not. We might say something obtuse but nothing so direct. We keep it vague. Really, I always thought men bragged about having sex. What do ladies say? I said nothing. The kitchen was quiet. He gulped. Nasha, I just gave him a small shrug and crooked smile. No, he whispered. What did she tell you? I tried shushing him but he seemed to have lost it. It's no big deal. Many men have a curve. He just dropped to the ground as if stabbed through his heart. Let me die here, please. Oh, so dramatic. Alice, I didn't get to finish as a tan tail came over the counter and lifted me to Julie's eye level. Julie, good to see you. She just smiled at me like the deep stalker that caught the nug. I've been looking for you. Her voice was sweet but her eyes were something else. My brain felt fuzz and my face felt aflame. Oh, I was here. Looking after Alistair. Ya know how Nick doesn't like when Alistair is left alone in the kitchen. Her eyes flashed to Alistair, who was still laying on the ground waiting for death. What's wrong with him? Did he cook anything? Nick will kill him. You know how defensive he is about this place. She's right, Nick loves this place. Something about ladies loving a man who can cook. He was going to, but I was able to stop him. Why is death so slow? He muttered from the floor. What? I had to tell him about some of our lady nights. She gave me a confused look. Ladies' nights. I bounced my eyebrows. She gasped. Nat, you can't tell the guys about that. She hissed. They're sensitive about that sort of thing. We looked over to a catatonic Alistair. Men are prideful creatures. You have to walk around these topics. If Nick found out about what Jackie and I talked about to the other girls, do you have any idea how long he would keep me out of my happy fun palace? Find a way to keep him silent or you're going to take Nick's place. She brought me close to her so she could whisper in my ear. And I won't be gentle. I'll make you mine. Oh my, I can feel my legs losing strength. If that wasn't enough, she licked me from my neck up to my ear with her crazy long tongue. Why do I find this sexy? Fix it, then come to my room. You made the bet, now deliver, no more running. She placed me on the floor. She caressed my body with her tail as she walked away, leaving me staring at her ass. Wow. I can't get married now. Shit. Alistair, right. Got to keep him from talking. Alistair, aren't you overreacting? So, we know a little about your love life, who cares? I care. My love life should be between me and Alyssa. This poor maiden. Alistair, there are things a woman can only talk about to another woman. Jack and Julie weren't shy about their love life and they're banging the same guy. I don't want to know about that. But we do. Do you think we women are masters of sex? We talk in detail because that's how we learn. Alyssa's not going to ask Nick how to pleasure a man. I would kill him. Wow, that was serious. Exactly. So, she goes to another more experienced woman. Julie showed her a lot of stuff. His face was as red as a beet. She has been doing some new things. Exactly. I brought him close. You will now keep your mouth shut. This is a sisterhood thing and if the men find out, I'm gonna bring you into the sisterhood. I stabbed my emergency knife between his legs. Capish. He gulped. Got it. Good. Here, I passed him some cups of cold water. Your lady is down in the training room, and I have no doubt she has run up a sweat. He grabbed the cups and ran off. Poor Alyssa. I jumped at the voice. I turned to find Zevran eating a sandwich. She has a long way to go before he's well trained. How much did you hear? I was here first. Nick made this place into a maze. Took me 30 minutes to find the bread. It's in the metal box that spells bread. Now you tell me. So, yeah, think Julie's going to blow your mind? Shut up, Zevran. I know you're the one who ate all the emergency jerky in the car. He shrugged and scratched up the trunk. He put his hand in the air and backed away. I know when I'm beaten. He moonwalked out of the kitchen. Good. 2 annoyances out of the way, now for Julie. Her and her lips, and hips, and tongue. Gulp. No, I got this. Walking out of the kitchen and into the living room I spotted Julie at the end of the hall with a smirk that had my heart thumping. She gave me the "come hither" finger as she turned the corner to her room. Gulp. I don't think I got this. For as long as I've been here, I have never gone this way. The stairs that lead down to my room were in the living room. Taking a left at the end of the hallway I found a staircase leading up probably to Sky's and Astral's room. I spotted Julie's tail waving at me from a doorway probably leading into her room. Julie's room was spacious and filled with drawings of runes and pictures. I found her laying in her bed in her underclothes. Oh my, she was smirking at me. Her lips seemed to glisten, making me focus on them. They looked very plump. The fuzziness returned, and my heart started pumping. Nat, I'm ready for my kiss. As I walked into the room the door closed behind me. It's this just a kiss, right? As I got close her tail came out from behind her. I wasn't close enough for it to grab me, but I kept getting closer. Yep, only a kiss, if you want, but I'm happy to go further. If you want. Won't Nick be upset? He cares a lot about you. Her smile beamed at my words. Nicky loves me, so, when I told him I wanted you, that I wanted to taste your soft skin, to feel you quiver at my touch, he agreed to my demands. I reached her tail, which slowly wrapped around me, but unlike before, the limb crawled under my shirt and danced across my skin. It was soft and warm, it seemed to light a fire under my skin. I want more. I love that man. I love his mind, his smile, and his jokes, when he's nervous, angry, happy, scared, or lost. I love him more and more every day. And you do too. Her tail lifted me up to her hips, straddling her. She leaned me against her chest, her tail still exploring my body, making me breathe heavy. I see the looks you give him, all the time you spend with him, any excuse to touch him. You act just like me, like Jackie, like Sky, like Dagna and Ayla. Oh, she'd deny it until the cows come home, but I can see it. Her breath was hot. I need something to drink. Anything would do. Water, ice. I looked at her lips, her perfect lips. Saliva. You're my friend. I care deeply for you. I want you to be happy, but I also want to be happy. I'm a selfish person. If Nikki wants you, I want you. If you want Nikki, you must also be mine. She opened her mouth, just enough to stick out her wet tongue. Won't you be mine, my naughty gnat? I pounced, capturing her lips. By the stone, she was perfect, she was the only thing that could save me. Her lips, her saliva, her body. She removed my shirt and pants, good they were in the way, I need to touch every inch of her body. Mine, she was mine. Her breasts were soft and her skin salty. She was becoming my— I can't wait, she hissed. We'll be sisters. Julie. Stars started dancing in my vision. Naisha Walters. I came hard. I tried to scream out, but nothing would escape my lips. Taking full advantage, Julie shoved her tongue down my throat, but I didn't care. All the stress I've been carrying has been shoved to the side. I was happy. She made me happy. Nick made me happy. Jackie, Sky, Ayla, and everyone on this crazy world-saving journey made me feel safe and happy. Naisha Walters. I could make it work. My train of thought was derailed as Julie's tail wrapped around my left breast and squeezed gently. This woman's insatiable, but I was okay with that. I still have some stress. // Dagna POV. And this is the globe map. Nick made me give the tour. Well, kinda. He was still there, watching me give the tour. I think he was testing me and my patience. He would take photos of every little thing I did. You're doing great, Nick whispered. Stone, he's like my father when I first picked up a hammer. Remember to smile. Jackie is just as bad. Isn't this your island? Wow. Lanaya didn't seem to care about Nick's and Jack's actions. She was looking at everything. Theron had to slap her hands away from any runes she would reach for. Theron seemed to have taken a liking to her. I turned off the autopilot and parked the ship and allowed her to play with the world map. With her distracted, I walked over to Nick and Julie, who had proud smiles. Why am I giving the tour? I whispered. Because you're our apprentice. If something were to happen to us, you would take command. Hold on, you're giving me mother base. Jack shook her head. You're fourth in line. It goes Nick, me, Julie, then you, followed by Sky and Morrigan. I'm pretty sure Nat and Theron would try and throw their hat in the ring, but neither knows anything about runes. Wait, you're giving me mother base. Ah, tears were blinding my vision. I didn't know they trusted me this much. Hey, Nick brushed the tears from my face. We're not going anywhere, not for many, many years. I'm thinking, 500 years. Hee, what am I going to be your apprentice for all the time? 500 years, that's too much. I regained my emotions. Maybe only 150, 200 tops. And by then I doubt Julie and Sky would let you go. He joked. That's a lie, Jack whispered. They won't let you go now. Love to say it, you're part of the family. Oh damn, the tears were coming back. Shut up, I muttered, wiping the tears from my face. Saying such stupid things. He brought me into a tight hug. You're my apprentice. My job is to teach you, to help you grow, to become the woman you dream of being, and if you need a flying island, then you get a flying island, but I have no doubt you'll make your own island in no time. And if I don't want to go anywhere, I don't want to go back to Orzammar. I love my father, but this feels right. I feel complete here. I don't feel like a gear out of place. I feel like this is the place I belong. Then this is your home for as long as you want. I buried my face into his chest. He smelled good, like freshly lit wood, and just as warm. Does that mean I get to fly the ship manually? I muttered into his shirt. He laughed. It was strong and boisterous. It beat back any fears I had of being tossed away. Not until you gain a score over 150 on the written test. Nick's standards for flying the ship are ridiculous. When will I need to fly into a storm to escape a thunder of dragons after stealing their eggs? Now let's show off your runes. I nodded in his chest and backed away, taking a deep breath. Let's blow this elf's mind. The rest of the tour went great. Lanaya was thoroughly impressed and Nick took over 100 pictures. Coming back for leading Lanaya out of Mother Base, leaving Theron to take her the rest of the way back to her tent. I found at least a dozen pictures in frames which would change images every 15 seconds, all of them of me and my awesome tour-giving skills. Oh no, wait, that had me making my first firebolt. I didn't know he took a picture of that. And that one, the first time I made a successful light spell, I didn't see him take a picture. And this one, a picture of me reading in the library. I have jam in my face from the jelly donuts Nick made that day. And that one, me lifting weights in my workout clothes, but I'm all sweaty. Lots of these are embarrassing. He even had one of me in the morning. My hair's a mess, and is that dried drool? I reached to take him off the wall. It shocked me. He. I turned and found Nick peeking behind the couch, with Jack sitting next to him watching TV. I put a lightning rune as security. You can't take it down without the right code. Take them down, you butt face. And I have a crush on this beardless bastard. No way, Jose. Those are pictures of my first apprentice. She would be most angry if I take down any of her pictures of her time here. I'm her, and she demands you take 'em down. Right now, this bastard smirking. Make me. I roared. I jumped at him, but he was already rolling out of the way. Get back here. Is that all you got? He was now by the pictures. Look, this one was the first time you flew the car. How do you even have that picture? I didn't see you using your phone. Ho, my cute little apprentice. I don't need a camera for that. I just used my own memories. The thought reader. Ding ding ding. I used my thought reader to copy an image of my memories. I jumped at him again, and like before he rolled away. That must have been difficult. I hissed out. I had to get him talking. I've only known him for a little under a month, but I know he loved talking about himself and his skills. Nothing is too impossible for me. There he goes. First he pumps out his chest, hands on hips, looks off to his right, very heroic. You see, little Dagna, all I need to do was, and off he goes. Let's see how he likes this. Everything warped for a second. Fade step as Neria, Win, Alyssa, and Morrigan calls it. Jackie calls it lightning walk. Mostly she uses some of her lightning magic when she jumps. Nick calls it dash. Call it whatever you want, I just did it. And by Nick's shocked look, he didn't see it coming. The only problem was, I just went right through him and flew face first into the wall. Nick stood over me making sure I didn't break anything. You sly dog, you got me gloating. Why didn't that work? My brain felt scrambled. First of all, I'm hella impressed. We're practicing some magic missiles after this, and second, you used fade step, a mostly evasive technique made to get away from danger. You make yourself incorporeal for only a moment and push yourself with magic. It's barely been 3 weeks and you're using magic like a pro. I'm so proud. I really am the best teacher. Shut up, I'm the one doing all the work. I rubbed my nose. Walls suck. Yes, but as your teacher, I get all the credit. I can see it now. Nick Walters the greatest. I attacked. Oh no, I was too close when I started gloating. I latched onto his chest. I got him. Now what? Hey. You got me. Now what? I don't know. Didn't think I was going to get this far. I'm going to have to teach you how to improvise. I'll show you. Improvise. I bit him on the neck. Oh my, I froze. Slowly turning to my left, I found Zevran and Okran looking wide-eyed. Sorry, we interrupted. We'll leave. Speak for yourself, ya shy bushwhacker. It was just getting spicy. He. I felt my skin crawl at Okran's words, not the part where something might happen, but just the fact that it came out of his mouth. Okran, you need a lady. Nick's right, he's getting worse. Win is one terrible flirt away from launching him out of Mother Base, but I chalk that up to Zevran and Okran's relentless pickup lines. Thanks for bringing that up. I wanted to talk to you about meeting up with a lady friend. Done, we both called out, anything to stop his creepy glances. Nick gave me one of his looks, who put you in charge? I just smiled at him. And you, Zevran? Nick asked. He waved his braces at us. What's my favorite color? Black. Not even close. But Morrigan was never going to get that question right. I wanted to see if the group will help her come up with an idea on why whatever color she chose was my favorite. Whoa, so he was testing if the group saw her as a friend. How do I prove to you that I no longer want to kill Aiden or any of his friends? Zevran, I cannot remove those braces. Only Aiden could do that. Zevran gave Nick a confused look. Zevran, if it was up to me, I would have killed you. Not because you attacked me, but because you attacked my friends. I can handle an assassin any day of the week, but I would never put the people I love through that. Aiden, though, he has a good heart. He would forgive you, work with you, and if you were lucky, he would call you brother. So, what I'm saying, Zevran, if you want those braces off, you have to get your brother to remove them. He gave Nick a long look and then back to his hands. You asked for a lot, Zevran muttered. You'd be surprised. Okran, you have any idea where this lady of yours is? Okran shrugged. After she left Orzammar, she wrote to me, couldn't get enough of the Okran, gross, she wrote about living by a large tower near the lake. She works in a bar, just my type of woman, with big breasts and alcohol. I need a shower. I think there was a small hamlet by the Tower of Maggie. Nick muttered, talk to Alyssa or Neria, they probably know more about it. I would, but they keep avoiding me. It's a shower, I put one in every room. Clean yourself, Nick ordered. Bah, I'm clean enough, he walked grumbling. I'm just happy Nick didn't use real fire to light the house, otherwise, his breath would burn down my new home. Zevran followed him out with a wave. Any hope we'll find this woman? I muttered to him. Gods, I hope so. I let out a moan. Looking down, I found Nick's hands grabbing my ass. What are you doing? He tilted his head like a confused nug. Your hands. Oh, sorry, he still kept his hand on my ass. Let go. Oh, right, he squeezed, sending a shiver up my spine. He put me down. Neria was right, he is a previous. Him and his big meaty paws, touching me in weird places, making me feel tingly. I'm punching him next time, probably. Keep those hands to yourself. Ya perv, Nick just smirked. Come, it's training time. He raced down the stairs. Oh yeah, new magic. // Everything hurts. These arcane warrior battle skills are ridiculous. They involved a lot of muscle and flexibility. Nick and I ended up looking a lot like pretzels. At least the gym was kept at a cool temperature. I thought Theron had to do this with us. Why does he get to avoid this? Theron already has some training in this. We need to catch up. Don't you know how to use the skills? He nodded and stretched his arms over his head, showing me the bottom half of his toned stomach. Nice. Yeah, the memory showed me how to use all the skills and how to perform them, but it didn't give me the flexibility to handle the strain. So, that leaves me two now. I might have power and stamina, but my joints need some loosening up. I don't see what you guys are complaining about. This is easy. Wow, Neria was lean and tall. It didn't help that Nick made her wear a leaf bikini that left very little to the imagination. Neria didn't have the hips the other ladies had, wow, and her doing an impossible pose that shoved her ass in my face, blinded me to everything else. Gulp, why is everyone on this damn island so good looking? Nick's more of a bodybuilder. His magic flows through his body like it was second nature. He rarely needs to stretch out his muscles before and after casting magic. Super unfair, Jack answered, doing the same pose, with her tail high in the air. Wow, Jack was wearing the skin-tight shorts Nick gave us. It molded perfectly to her body, Her shirt was loose, but her breasts were so big that it made it nearly skin tight. Or Nick made her an extra short shirt so he could see her figure more. That damn perv. I looked down at my white shirt that clung to my sweat-covered body. I could clearly see my training bra Nick gave me. I slowly looked up to a smirking Nick who was looking back at me. This damn perv. Nice, right, he whispered. I'm going to kill you. I hissed back. He bumped me with his hips. I don't see you calling me out. I glared. His smirk almost grew to split his face. You really are my apprentice. What are you talking about? He leaned down to whisper in my ear. You love those hips as much as I do. He used his hands to turn my head to Jack's and Neria's butts. You're just as perverted as me. I wanted to deny his words, but I couldn't look away from their butts. Hey you guys. Alyssa's voice snapped me out of whatever crazy mind trick Nick placed on me. She was wearing the same thing as the rest of us. What y'all ladies doing? And yes, I'm adding Nick to the ladies part. Well, girlfriend, he snapped his fingers. I'm about to teach everyone in this room the first lesson in the Arcane Warrior repertoire. It involves a lot of bending and punching. Do you want to join? She shrugs. More of a support mage. Win is teaching me healing magic. Alistair keeps jumping into danger, so I have to make sure he comes back to me alive. You guys have your fun. I'm just here to loosen up my muscles for some training. The boys are in the training room, so I'm going to practice my healing. Look at her blush when she said Alistair's name. Jack teased. Shut up. You blush every time Nick passes by. What? He has a fine ass. Jack has no shame. A lady has needs, and he has a firm butt. Madam, Nick called out, covering his butt. That is not afternoon talk. Oh, you wouldn't be doing much talking. Why, I've never. Yes, you have. Now get to teaching. She shoved him somewhere we could all see him. Alyssa just laughed and walked off to an empty part of the room and began her own stretching. Nick began teaching us how to morph our magic to power our bodies, so our physical strength increases to the point where I could break people's bones. Everything sucks. My brain feels ready to break out of my head. Mana crashes are the worst. At least I was laying on something soft. Hey, my little apprentice. Opening my eyes, I found Nick standing over me. No, not standing over me, kneeling. Ya mana crashed. This one's going to be worse than the last one. You have more mana than before, so it's going to take some time for you to get back to 100%. He began massaging my head with his glowing hands. That felt great. I'm giving you some of my mana. This skill is part of Healing Hand. Transferring mana is more advanced, but you'll learn it over time. His hands were stone gifted. You did good work today. But I didn't hold it for long. He laughed softly. You weren't even supposed to achieve the skill. I barely gave you the first half of the lesson. You completed it through imagination alone. You really are amazing. A smile grew on my face. Well, I do have the best teacher in the world. He laughed again, bringing my head from a full mining operation to a gentle lyrium operation. And you're the soon-to-be master wizard that will be the envy of every mage on the planet. You're so dumb. He. You're going to feel a little bit loopy and drunk. My power tends to be rather strong, and it will take some time for your body to convert my power into something you can use. Everything felt better. The ache in my head was gone and my muscles relaxed. Gods, everything feel good. You're handsome. I like your face. Even his glowing eyes, they were the first thing I saw at Orzammar. No sapphire I have ever seen compares to their beauty. Thanks. And your butt. Jack's right. It's very tight. I could bounce a gold coin off it. Ha. You're going to try and beat this knowledge from my memories. But, I also like Jack's butt, and Julie's butt, and have you seen Sky's butt? Her butt is huge. I would have to use my whole arms to get a good grab. Nick just laughed. But their butts belong to you. As your student, I need their butts too. For magic reasons. Is that right? Yep. Very well, Jackie, this belongs to you. Wah. Oh, a thick limb wrapped around my waist and dragged me over to Jackie. It's so warm. I wonder what else I could do. Hee hee. I'll show you everything you want, but only if you ask me after you come to your senses. Her breath was warm and sent tingles down my spine. I can't wait. Her tail was perfect, warm, thick. I'll make her moan my name. That way Nick and I could have more things in common. We could talk about how we make love to the same women. And then we'll make love and then we'll make love in a group. You sure have a dirty mind, little Dagna. Oh damn, can she read my mind? No, you have been talking out loud this whole time. Oh no, but I didn't hear a no. She leaned down and gave me a kiss on the cheek. Wow, so flexible. Play your cards right and I just might show you how flexible. Ah, stop reading my mind. That's only for me and my fantasy lovers. But, aren't I one of your fantasy lovers? Gasp, you are. Hey, do that thing with your tongue I like. Tomorrow. Or, then put me between your breasts like you always do. Hee hee hee, I could do that. Ah, her breasts were perfect. So soft and warm. I bet that's why Nick likes looking at them. Hee hee, come on ya handsy little baby. I felt her pick me up. Your hands are so soft. I love them. Ya no, I never felt like this before. None of the men in Orzammar made me feel like Nick, and no woman ever made me feel like you, or Julie, or Sky, or any lady. I don't know what it is. I think I like tall people. Whoa, do you think I have a thing for tall people? No, that can't be right. Nat and Serida keep it tight. I felt a soft surface. I think I'm in bed. I held on tighter to Jack. Please stay. Of course, sweetie. She hugged me tighter. So warm. Hey Jack, do you think Nick likes me? Yeah, I think so. Every time you stretch before training, he looks at your ass. A smile was become permanently etched on my face. How did you fall in love with him? How did you know he was the one? She gained a small smile. It was soft, warm, and filled with love. We were at Hope, my home village. Nick took me on a dozen dates. Well, they weren't dates, but well they were, but Nick didn't know. I was testing the waters. Nick wasn't always like he is today. He was always working on one thing after another. The golems, mother base, healing, runes, or cooking. He was always doing something, never really took a break. Really, did he at least make jokes? From time to time, he was keeping to himself. Even to you, I thought he told you everything. Now, Nick treated me just like Morrigan back then. Like a little sister. A friend. Aren't you his friend? I'm his best friend. I know all of his secrets. Whoa, does he like it rough? Only after his third orgasm. He likes it slow and pleasurable. He gets off on my moans, but when he gets started very little will slow him down. Wow, does he make any faces? Oh yeah, he makes the cutest faces. Play your cards right and you might get to see them. My face is on fire. I wanna see all his faces. Anyway, most of the dates we've gone on went pretty good. We had a good time, jokes were made, and I was laughing and eating. Ah, so romantic. But it was only after the date when we were walking home. She had this faraway look. He turned to me and just smiled. And just like that. A little, just for a second, I saw what our future would have looked like. 3 kids, summer home by the lake, travel the world with the family. All that from a smile. It's the small things. You'll see, give it some time, and when it happens come to me and tell me your future. You think it will happen to me? I couldn't keep my worry out of my voice. What if I don't get my future vision? She leaned down and gave me a kiss. Ah, her lips were soft, and lightning rolled throughout my body. How was that? Her words sounded muffled. I wasn't in my bed anymore. I was sitting on the couch in the living room watching my shows. When a voice caught my attention. Dagny, I looked to my left and found Sky with a bright smile. Walking over to me she gave me a kiss. It felt frosty, and cooled the rising heat that her kissing always causes. She gently lifted with her tongue and tail and began heading to the kitchen. Nikki's not giving me any snacks. She nuzzled into me. She always did this when she's in trouble and is trying to get me to do something. And what do you want me to do? Julie and Jackie are down at their mother's cave with the hatchlings, and Ayla and Neria are still angry at me about the tail thing. You know they don't like it when you use your tail during their lovemaking. You tend to be rough. But you like it. I can't control myself. I love their moans. Yes, and your tail is very flexible and big. I moaned out. Damn her and her tail. You know Nick won't give you any snacks until you get Ayla's and Neria's to forgive you. But you can convince him. You can make him do whatever you want. Since when? And why should I? Because you love me, and you won't let me starve. Don't listen to her. Ayla's voice came from down the hall. Sky nuzzled deeper. She rubbed too rough. Yeah, I can't feel my butt. Neria sounded angry. Sorry Sky, I can't help you. But you know what? I'm feeling hungry. She skipped into the kitchen. Nikki, Dagny's hungry. Quickly, be sure it has plenty of meat. At least pretend it's not for you, ya silly dragon. Entering the kitchen, I found Serida and Nat eating an afternoon snack. Wave over to me. I smiled and returned the wave. Hey Dagna. I looked over to Nick. His eyes weren't glowing and he had some stubble. We've been hiding his razors. That's going to be a sexy beard. Sky's seducing you into getting food. No, I'm hungry. He laughed and walked over to us. Don't squeeze too tight Sky, he warned. I leaned toward him, Sky passing me over, into his arms. I'm not a delicate flower. I teased. He smiled. Yeah, I know, but they might be. He placed his hand on my baby bump. Parlise, this isn't our first and James jumps off every large object. I swear, JJ needs to stop daring her siblings to do dumb things. That girl, she takes too much after her father. You love her. I shrugged. She has her father's eyes. His smile made my heart thump. I love you. He gave me a kiss. Wow, Sky may have started the fire in my hearth, but Nick set my woods aflame. I love you, my Dagna. Dagna, Dagna. My eyes snapped open, finding myself back in my room and in Jack's warm arms and firm tail. How did I get here? Hey Dagna, her voice was heavenly. It's dinner time. Gulp. Am I dinner? Nick is calling. Oh, right, regular dinner. Hey Jack. Will it be okay if I fall in love with Nick? She gave me a confused look. As long as I get to fall in love with you and you with me. The look she gave me had nugs running laps in my stomach. Okay. She leaned out and gave me a kiss. My breath was sucked out of my lungs, my toes curled, my heart was so loud it drowned out everything, and the lightning that traveled throughout my body made me numb and somehow overly sensitive to everything. I have never felt anything like this. Her tongue asked for permission and I couldn't say no. I was beginning to heat up and everything was becoming fuzz. My blood was beginning to boil. I need more. She was perfect. So warm, so wet. More. She released from her lips, leaving me high and dry. No. I need more. Jack, why did you stop? I was pawing at her shirt. Why did Nick make them so durable? We need to get to dinner. Do you want Okran coming in here to get us? It felt like someone drenched me in cold water. And besides, I'm a lady who needs to be wined and dined. You want this ride? You gotta pay. How much? 4 dates somewhere nice. Doesn't need to be expensive. Just somewhere with only me and you, 1 night under the stars, and I want you to hold my hand in public, show everyone that you're with me. Can 1 date be under the stars? She smirked. Depends on how good the date is. Will Nick be okay with this? She shrugged. I made a deal with Nick. If any lady wants him, they will have to get past Julie and I. Sky too, at least by tonight. She muttered that last thing. Leaning close, she whispered, "You're lucky you came to me first." Julie wouldn't have stopped. She would have taken you, and made you, her toy. Gulp. I really should make her stop reading all that smut. She slithered out of bed with me in her arms. Come, it's dinner time. You can imagine being her toy later. I wasn't. She brought me up into a kiss. Oh, Stone. Damn her. You will. How am I supposed to stop this blush before dinner? / Nat POV. It's dinner time. This damn temptress. If we don't hurry, someone will come in and see what's happening. How dare you say that? She was between my knees, taking me all the way to the Diamond Quarter. Do you think it will be Sky? She would love to join in. Damn her. Don't say that. We've been at this for hours. We would rest for 30 minutes and we'd be right back to this. I blacked out at some point, and when I came back to the land of the living, we had a bunch of food. I think she got it from Nick, or at the very least raided the kitchen. She would feed me, mouth to mouth, not allowing me to move. I was covered in love bites, there was no way I could hide 'em all. Her tongue was running me to the finish line. Julie, I flopped on my back, covered in sweat and fighting for any air my lungs could get. My hypersensitive body caught the feeling of a wet tongue trailing up my stomach. Looking down, I found Julie crawling up to me. Wait, Julie, dinner. She was face to face with me, her tongue hanging out of her mouth right over my mouth. I couldn't resist. I practically swallowed her tongue. Stone, she tasted so sweet. Maybe a little more. She pulled away, leaving me tonguing the air. Julie, dinner time. You know Nick won't start until everyone on Mother Base is at the dinner table, and if Sky and Astral have to wait longer than necessary, they will drag us to the dinner table. Naked and all. I can take them. I could barely say anything through my rough breathing. We're also out of food. One more. A loud roar cut me off. Julie rubbed my belly. Sounds like this toned belly needs some food. Her tail came from beside the bed holding some clothes. Julie, those are my PJs. Oh, you can borrow some of my clothes. Aren't you a little bigger than me? She skipped to her closet and pulled out some clothes. Don't worry about that. I have a self-fitting rune on all my clothes. Look, I even have some dwarf clothes. Bodan has everything. Wanna see me in it? Yes, I didn't know she had that. We could have played Duster and Noble. Next time. Maybe later. We need to get some dinner. She gave me something rather skimpy, but it fits damn well. Good neckline, made my hips pop, and showed off the girls. Damn. That was going to be the dress that was going to blow Nick's mind, but I ended up going all natural. She put it up against her body and modeled a little. Are you giving me this to seduce Nick? She shook her head. Not only him. Sky had to go through Jackie and me. She had to go through a lot of hoops. Jackie and I took her on a lot of dates. Hold on. Is that why we have been going into town alone? You were taking me out on dates. Now that I think about it, Jack and I go shopping alone every time we get some free time, and those restaurants, and the time we camped out in Nick's village. The hand holding. How in the void did I not see this before? I looked over at Julie, and memories flashed before my eyes, all the touching, jokes, teasing, sexual advancements, picnics, and shopping. How many people have been flirting with me? Is that why Rick was so angry at me? 'Cause I didn't respond to his advancements. Come on, dinner's ready. I would have gone faster if she stopped trying to put the dress on me. She was pawing at me, feeling me up more than helping me put on. Wow, I was right, this is one fine dress. I can't wait to see it on the floor. Down, girl. Do you have anything for all the bites you gave me? The dress was nice, but it left my arms, back and thighs bare to the world. Nope, not even Nick can make them go away. Well, there goes any subtlety. I guess I'll wear them as a badge of pride. She nuzzled into my neck. How about one more for the road? I reach up and grabbed one of her horns and pulled her to the side, exposing her neck. I don't see why not. I bite and sucked at her neck, causing her to moan and leave a mark. I left her a wet mess of a woman behind as I strode out of the room and into the living room, come face to face with Ayla and Alyssa, who was waiting for Nick's final call. It was a well-known fact that the first call was for the hungry and weak-willed. Those who answer it are made to make the table. The second call was made for any wardens not already helping so they could find their seats. He made us wardens sit together, that way he knows where to put the larger amount of the food, otherwise, the food would be all over the table and we would climb the table trying to reach for more food. With my 3 days of no longer eating off Nick's plate, I was back with the rest of my fellow wardens. Well, isn't someone in a good mood? Alyssa smirked, looking at my bite marks. Were you attacked by a wild animal? Oh Ayla, you summer child, Julie's going to eat you alive. Alyssa laughed. I bet. That's right, drink it in. I gave a small twirl. Alyssa just smirked. Where'd you get that dress? If you must know, Julie gave it to me. Nice, right? Alyssa looked me up and down, and gave me a thumbs up. Why would Julie give you a dress? Also, isn't it a bit? Yeah, no, for dinner. She had a small blush. She really needs to read Julie's novels, desensitize her a little, and make her more worldly. Why, are you getting distracted? Using one of Leliana's techniques, leaning forward and using my arms to make my breast pop. Ayla couldn't look away, looking at my girls like they were telling her a story using the voice of her maker. Man, Leliana really had some crazy skills. Julie was now sitting next to Alyssa. I didn't even hear her pass me. She was also wearing only her workout outfit, consisting of only her sports bra and shorts, showing the world all the bite marks and hickeys I gave her. My blood began to boil and my breathing was beginning to come out heavily. Damn her, what is it about her that makes me want more, to need her touch, to make her smile? Julie, how did you get all your bites? Do you need me to heal you? No, she covered her bites. These are battle scars. It proves I've been through a great battle and came out alive. She wrapped her tail around Ayla, gaining a yelp. Hey, you wanna go shopping when we get to Danerum? This woman never stops. Well, okay. Poor Ayla, she may have the power of her god, but this devil doesn't seem to care and is trying to sink her teeth into her poor virgin's neck. Dinner time, and that was the last call. Dinner's ready. Ayla POV. Walking into the kitchen, we found a huge cake. Julie fainted in Naisha's arms. It was at least 4 layers covered in chocolate and strawberries. I love strawberries. Nick, what's going on? I reached out for a strawberry, only to be slapped away. Ow. Simple, this is a cake. I'ma punch him, he snapped out, slapping Julie's hand away. Nicky. Julie had big teary eyes. Don't bother. We looked over to find Jack tied up to her chair. Next to her was Dagna, sporting a light blush. This is dessert. He put his warm hands on my shoulders. For Ayla's birthday. Birthday? What day is it? The 8th of first fall, Duncan called out. That man is on top of everything. Well, I'll be damned. It is my birthday. It's my birthday. Nick laughed. That's right. He turned me to a table filled with gifts that nearly reached the ceiling. Whoa, and those are yours. I only got a dress last year from my mom and my dad's old beau. You get to open 'em after dinner. Do I get this kind of celebration when I get a little closer to death? Morrigan's bored voice came from the table. I didn't see her because she was behind the cake. Nah duh, your birthday, if I'm correct, is on the 25th of Herring. I'm torn between making you your own island or just a flying car. You've been kinda bratty. 25th of what? Flemeth didn't teach me about days and months, more on the seasons and how it affects magic. The 25th of Herring. It's 27 days away. 28, forgot about Saturnalia. Duncan answered. And you'd make an island for me? She sounded more interested now. Nick shrugged. I might. You've been kinda full of yourself lately. From what Alyssa told me, you have to give me anything I want because I'm your little sister. Alyssa gets away with everything because she's the only woman born into the Kuzland clan in 100 years, and Aiden is a big softie. Hey, I'm made of stronger stuff. Aiden interjected. Morrigan reached over, allowing me to see her, and gave Aiden a soft kiss. Yes you are, but I'm talking, so please wait until I'm done. Aiden just huffed and sat down. Theron made a whipping noise. I want an island. It doesn't need to be as big, but I want it big enough for a log cabin. It should. Op 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 op. Today isn't about you, it's about Alia. Thank you. Morrigan's angry puffed up face was a great present. Dinner was awesome. I got first pick on all the food and the cake was delicious. I even got my own fridge for all the leftover cake. I also got to be careful. Jack and Julie were eyeing me like a pair of hungry wolves. The gifts were great. Jack, Leliana, and Julie got me over a dozen new dresses. Theron, Zevran, and Neria got me a new bow, dagger, and weapons belt respectively. Dagna and Julie said they would add any runes I wanted. Duncan and the rest of the wardens got me a shield made of silverite with the Grey Warden's griffins. Sten and Shale gave me money mostly because they couldn't be bothered. Sky and Astral made me a necklace made of their scales. I had to sit throughout 10 minutes of the great tell-about on how the great and powerful Astral Strider has gifted me with the greatest gift I will ever get. Sky dragged her away. Morrigan gave me a bag of herbs. Sereda and Kalen, being royalty, got me some jewelry. It was a beautiful bracer made of gold and amethysts. Okran, Alyssa, and Wynne gave me some alcohol, whatever it was, nearly burned off my eyebrows. Now that the cheapos have given you your presents. That bracer was crazy expensive. Kalen huffed. Indeed, it took me at least 30 minutes to dig out the gold. Sereda agreed with Kalen and made the gift less about money and more about sentimentality. Those herbs weren't easy to come across. Morrigan huffed. Bodan made that silverite cost an arm and a leg, Alistair called out. Also, you owe him a self-moving cart. Nick clicked his teeth. Alistair shrugged. My scales are beyond any shiny rock. Astral roars and jumped at Nick, only to be caught and shoved under his arm like a purse. Ah, I have been captured. Morrigan, as my sister, you must save me. What's in it for me? My love. Morrigan gave her a deadpan look. You're on your own. Ah, betrayal. Everyone, follow me. Nick skipped out of the house and into the porch, passing Astral to Sky. When I was your age, my father gifted me something special. He snapped his fingers. The earth lowered down. That usually indicated that the warthog was going to be used, but instead of the car, a vehicle with 2 wheels appeared. According to TV, it was called a motorcycle. It didn't have any sort of markings. It was steel gray, and it shined in the moonlight. This is a Harley Davidson. I made it for travel. He walked over to the back wheel and pointed out the steel trunk attached to the back. This is a trunk of holding. It can hold just about anything, as long as it fits. I'll teach you the shrinking charm. I went ahead and made you a magic tent so you don't have to sleep on the floor. The magic engine, while not as big as the Warthog's, it's powering a smaller vehicle, so it would reach the same speed as the Warthog. I walked over and felt the steel chassis. It was cool to the touch, and the seat was made of some kind of leather. It was warm and tough. I placed all the runes under the chassis. Shield, flight, laser defenses, that's just some of the runes I placed on it. I give you the full list later. The seat is Drake leather, and I placed some runes on it to keep it at a perfect temperature. I didn't add any color. I thought we could do that later as a fun side project. He tossed me a small black stone. Wanna start it up? I jumped on the seat. It was perfect. It hugged all the right places. Finding the key insert, I shoved the rune key into place, causing the motorcycle to come roaring to life. I felt someone sit behind me. He was bigger than I remember. He also shoved a helmet over my head. Safety first. His voice vibrated his chest, and his chest was hugging my back, sending tingles up my spine. Runes appeared before me, taking up some of my vision. Cool, right? Made him just for you. They help tell you how fast you're going, fight path, danger sense, and gives you control of the weapons systems. As he spoke, different symbols appeared with his words. Weapons, path lines, and highlighted objects that would make it hard to drive. All right. I felt his hand wrap around my waist. They shot lightning through my nerves. Hey, watch those hands. He laughed. Damn him and his laugh. Okay, now, I have no doubt you've seen one of these on TV. I made it easy by putting all the controls in the helmet and making the helmet thought controlled. The only thing you have to do manually is pull the right handle back to accelerate and pull on the brakes to stop. You ready? I tightened my grip on the handlebar and nodded. Okay, whenever you're ready. I'll be here to catch you, but I doubt you'll need me. The helmet made me a path following what I wanted to do, drive all the way to the edge of Mother Base and then talk off, and ride the sky. I pulled the accelerator and my motorcycle took off. This was awesome. The wind, the roar of the engine, and the warm hands of a good friend. As we reached the end, the wheels began to glow. Like the Warthog, begin pulling back. I hear Nick's voice right next to me. Pulling back, the motorcycle began to climb as if riding up a low hill. Use your hips and the handlebar to have full control. His hands lowered from my waist to my thighs. What did I say about those hands? He squeezed, making a jolt of pleasure shoot through me. I'm watching them. This perv. I pulled up sharply, making us go straight up, making him move his hands back to my waist. That's better. He laughed. I joined him. The flight went great. There were no clouds for miles, and the light from the Dalish camp matched the night stars. It was freeing. Nothing was holding me down. Nick. Why did you give me a motorcycle? You're young. When I was your age, my dad gave me his old motorcycle. It was rusty, missing parts, and hasn't moved in its own power in well over a decade. And you wanted to give me the same. He laughed at my sarcasm. Kinda. My dad and I bonded over it. We worked on it for months, looking for any missing pieces, knocking out dents, bringing it back to life. I ended up giving it to my younger sister when I got a better job and bought a car, but I would give up that time for anything. But it works just fine. Well, yeah, I wanted you to feel this freedom, but I wanted you to have something for us to do, so I made it simple, no color, no interesting objects, no distinguishing features, nothing. I wanted us to have something to take our minds away from the blight, something to bond over. I have no doubt Dagna and Julie will be all over this baby. Shale will talk about its shoddy construction, Sten will just grunt and agree with her, Zevran, Alistair and Kaelin will beg for one and bug you until you let them use yours, Morrigan, Neria, Alyssa, and Wynne will discuss the ins and outs of how it's made, Aidan, Nat, and Serida will only try and look cool while sitting on it. Okran will avoid it like it was made of fine wine. Duncan will make it something about the blight and how it could help us defeat the archdemon, and Jackie and Leliana will try and convince you of the best color to paint it. Sky and Astral will just be happy to have a flying partner that isn't each other. And the dogs, I joked. Please, they're dogs, they probably believe that the fact that it has 2 wheels makes it weaker than the car because the car has 4 wheels. But what if I just leave? With this I can literally fly away. He pulled me into a hug. Yeah, you can, and we would miss you, I would miss you, but you have that right. You're 18 now, in my culture you're considered an adult. I did promise your mom to try and keep you safe, but I'm not going to force you to stay. Before you were a minor someone to keep safe, but with your coming of age, I must give you the right to make your own decisions. That's the thing about growing up, having choices and choosing how you wish to live your life. And if I don't want to leave, if I want to stay here forever, then I'll tell you what I told Dagna, you're part of our family. If you want to stay here for the rest of your life, so be it. Welcome home. I leaned back on his chest. It was warm. We ended up flying for another hour, before returning to Mother Base. Everyone seemed to have gone to bed, or at least back to their nightly schedule. Parking my new bike, we found Sky the only one in the living room watching TV, something about the making of washing machines. She seemed not to care about the show and was fully focused on our return. Jumping up to her feet and rushed over to us. She pulled me into a deep nuzzled and practically shoved me down the stairs and to my room. For a moment I thought she was going to take things further, but stopped. Night night Ayla, was all she said before giving me one of her classic deep tongue kisses that made love to my mouth. She put me down and ran down the hallway and up the stair. What's going on with her? That kiss only lasts about 5 seconds. She usually goes on for at least 15 seconds. Wait, am I complaining about not getting mouth molested more? It's my birthday, damn it. I should be getting twice the kisses. I know that sounds stupid, but she has never listened before. I'm an adult now, and if I want to make out with a handsy dragon, by the maker I will. Marching out of my room I came face to face with a spooked Dagna who was also exiting her room. She looked all kinds of shifty. Ayla, good to see you. What you're doing here? I live here, remember? Oh, yeah, ha 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 ha, right, so, I'm just going to get a snack before bed. Didn't we just have dinner? Oh, yeah, but I was next to Sky. You know how she is. I also have to talk to Jack about morning training. She was next to Sky. Where are you going? Oh, need to ask Sky something. Oh, wanna walk together? Sure, I have only known Dagna for about 3 weeks. We became real good friends. She has this way of thinking that tends to leave me baffled, but I find her way of explaining to be funny and informative. Halfway down the hall, Nat spooked us by opening her door as we passed by. We just stared at each other. Hey, she waved. Hey, we waved back. What's going on? She gave us a confused look. Nothing, Dagna and I said at the same time. Nat gave us another long look. Okay, I'm going to talk with Julie. She also sounded rather shifty. Oh, that's great, Dagna called out, catching me off guard. We are also going upstairs, join us. The walk was only like 100 feet. We mostly talked about my new bike and what we could add to it. Walking up the stairs we heard a noise coming from the kitchen. Peeking around the corner we found Astral bent over in the fridge making loud chewing noises. Astral, she jerked, smacking her head on one of the shelves. Ow, sticking her head out of the fridge like a startled deer. She relaxed after seeing it was just us. Oh, what do you want from the great and mighty, Astral Strider? She struck a pose. What are you doing? I asked. Messing around in Nick's fridge is a death sentence. Eating, man, dragons are fearless. We both know you're not allowed in Nick's fridge. Nat pointed out. How'd you get past Nick's runes? That thing has more runes than Shale. Dagna walking over to the fridge. Ah, you believe such a weak landwalker magic could stop me? She struck another pose. Fools. You broke the fridge. Dagna's voice was soft, nearly silent. My hands were getting sweaty. This isn't good. You know, Astral, it was nice knowing you. You were cute in that little sister kind of way. I kinda thought you would live longer. I pointed out. I'm not above appreciating the female body, and Astral was not shy in showing off. What foolishness do you speak of? You destroyed Nick's fridge. He loved this thing. If this thing was alive, he would be trying to marry it. If you want to live past tomorrow, you need to talk to him right now. Throw yourself at his feet and beg for forgiveness. You're his little sister, he might just find this to be a funny story for the future. Nat called out, shoving her toward Nick's room. Walking into the hallway leading to Nick's room we heard heavy grunting noises. We all froze. The thumbing was coming from down the hall from the right. Nikki, that was definitely Sky. Gulp. I guess this is why she was throwing me into my room. It was Astral who made the first step toward the noise. Knocking us out of our funk, we tried to stop her, but she was still a dragon and dragged us down the hall. The noises were getting louder and louder. Turning the corner, we found Jack and Julie standing in front of Nick's door, peeking into the room. Julie, hissed Nat, gaining her attention. Turning to us with a confused look followed by a smirk, she waved us over. Julie, by the maker, have some shame. Of course, that didn't stop me from tiptoeing over. What? She put a finger to my lips and pointed to the small crack of pleasure. Let's become sisters tonight, Ayla. What have I gotten myself into? / Jack POV. You have slept in your bed. HP and MP are full. All ailments cured. My fridge. My eyes snapped open. By the Underland. Nat shot up, eyes wide as saucers. What's going on? Everyone knows that Nick's fridge was off limits. Slowly wrapping my tail up Nat's waist, I brought her down to my chest, where she relaxed. Nat, do you have any idea what's going on? No, I learned long ago that Nat was no snitch, so I had to get creative if I wanted her secrets. Massaging her butt with my hands and squeezing her body with my tail, I began to slowly pleasure her. Julie's books were unrealistic, but sometimes they know what they were talking about. She began to give out soft moans. Nat, won't you tell me what's going on? She reached out and caught one of my nipples in her mouth. Ah, you're playing dirty, Nat. Oh, and you aren't. Julie told me all about your little lust ability. Then you should know that only those we care deeply for can activate it. I gave her a soft kiss. Dare I say, those we love. I came close but stopped an inch away. Her happy smile turned to an annoyed frump. If you're going to kiss someone, go all the way. She gritted her teeth. She glared at me. So cute. I opened my mouth and stuck out my tongue, inviting her in. She began to shake. Her willpower is mighty. Damn you, sisters. She closed the gap, sucking down my tongue. God, I love her fire. She's as thirsty as Nick. Makes me wonder what Nick would be like under lust's effect. Best not to think about it. I'm lucky my HP resets after a full night's rest, otherwise I would be using a wheelchair to move around. Oh no, Sky, I mean she is a dragon and Julie and I did make her a ring of love, so it should be okay, but Nick was pretty rough last night. Releasing myself from Nat's lips. Gods, I love that little whine she makes every time I pull away, and she thinks I'm the one with the lust ability. So, what about Nick's fridge? Nat gave me a puppy dog look. Fine, keep your secrets. I whipped my tail, smacking her in the buns, causing her to yelp. So cute, get your sexy butt up. Nick sounded ready to kill someone. Giving her a quick kiss and lifted her up. Getting dressed, we walked into the kitchen to find a very angry Nick making a truckload of food. Cooking calms him, and I love his cooking, especially after a night like mine. Sky was there eating as fast as Nick was finishing dishes. She looked okay, other than her wild hair. She looked good as new, better even, her scales seemed to glow, the shiny horn ring was in proud display. Reaching out for a plate of eggs, Sky whipped out her tail and smacked my hands away. Ow, Sky. Nicky's upset, he said only I and the furry one get to eat his food, she said through a juicy steak. Backing away and sitting next to Shale. What's going on? The mage is upset about its cold box, the one with the sustenance, was broken. She sounded bored with how the day has started. And he won't give us any food. Alistair complained. I'm a hungry king. I need my food to make my kingly decisions. Kalen joined his brother. How can no one see their similarities? I didn't know you need food to watch TV. Morrigan drawled. You do if you're a king. Nicholas, what will it take for us to get back in your good graces? Duncan said, becoming the calm voice in the raging storm that was Hungry Wardens. Find the person who destroyed my fridge. He put his cooking equipment away and passed a single plate to everyone else. It was 3 pancakes, 2 bacon strips, and some scrambled eggs. This was a pittance compared to Sky's mountain of food. This isn't a lot, Theron said, looking at his sad meal. I need to go and get more material to fix the fridge. I should be back before dinner. There should be some rations in the cupboards. Don't destroy any more of my kitchen. Will we get the same amount of food when you return? Alyssa asked. It's been a long time since Alistair has looked at her food like that. Find me that kitchen wrecker and you get your food back. Why do the creatures get food? Complained Morrigan, looking at Dogmeat bring food to a laying princess and Pancake, licking his face as a reward. I'm many things, handsome, good-looking, cute, annoying at times. Try all the time, Morrigan added. But I would never deprive pregnant women of their food. Pregnant, we all looked at the Mabari who were eating with wild abandonment. Aiden catch. Using his warden reflexes, he caught a bag. I want half the litter. Nat, same goes for you. He tossed her another bag. This is at least 30 gold. Aiden shouted in shock. Dogmeat is a loyal and intelligent animal, and Princess is probably smarter than him. Any babies they make will probably be smarter than your average Alistair. Hey, puppies. I jumped out of my seat and hugged Dogmeat. You're such a good dog. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Puppies. I was a little upset when I had to get Dogmeat fully grown. But now I get at least 5. Yes, super cute. See you guys later. Dogmeat, you're with me. Jack, Julie, you want to come along? I shook my head. I can't leave now. Princess and Cupcake are pregnant. Ayla and I are doing some morning training. I'll see you later. She waved him goodbye. I then got a prompt. You have been removed from Nick Walters's party. Thank you for playing. My hub disappeared. Felt kinda strange. I had them for months and got used to them. Nick gave me a goodbye kiss. There's some cheesecake in my secret fridge, he whispered, doing the same to Julie and Sky before he and Dogmeat walked out of the house. After giving Princess and Pancake a few more belly rubs, I then went to get my cake. A woman can't take care of pregnant dogs on an empty stomach. / Shale POV. All these fleshy mortals are being foolish. It has only been 4 hours and they have broken into different groups. It pleases me that the Kunari warrior had not fallen for such foolishness. Him and his very large muscles. Shale, ugh, one of the meatbags is here. It was that pointy-eared woman with green eyes. Have you seen Astral or Dagna? No, go away, the Kunari warrior, and I wish for some silence. Sten. No, last we saw of her was at breakfast. The black dragon and the small dwarf wizard seem close. Thank you, she ran back into the house. Why help them? Can't they bother someone else? Yes, but we need the fighters' feed. Walters may be strange, but his food makes the fighters better. So you care for his abilities in the kitchen. An army runs on its stomach. And if Walters is providing that food, they might be unstoppable. You wish to convert him? No. Walters knows how majors are treated under the Coon. He would revolt and cause untold damage. I need him here to stop the blight. Maybe when the blight is over with, I might ask him to visit Parvolan. If he were to teach our women to cook, we might bring some civilization to these backwater lands in my lifetime. I doubt they would like that. No, war will break out, many will die, but the Coon demands it. Will you come after me? He gave me a long look. If I must, I'll make sure I go after you personally. You were worthy of my personal attention, even if I gave to look for you for months, maybe even years. It is a massive place, this Ferelden. When will that mage be finished with my extra body part? Dagna POV. Astral's lips were amazing. She gave Jack a run for her money, but to be fair, I only kissed 2 people. Astral, we have to tell Nick about the fridge. Also, hiding in the engine room is going to get me in so much trouble. But he'll yell at me. She gave me the biggest nug eyes. And then I'll be grounded. Grounded? He won't let me fly. He'll ground me or worse. Oh. But if you don't, he'll only give you a small amount of food. Until you come forth and confess. She groaned, shoving her head into my neck. I don't want to. If he grounds you, then I'll take you flying in the car, how about that? You'd do that? I nodded. Fine, but you have to promise to help me get a kiss from the stone dwarf. Stone dwarf? Sereda, she nodded. She's the only one who Nick hasn't kissed. He hasn't kissed me. But he will. You were going crazy yesterday. Watching Nick made you ready for mating. Don't worry, I'll mate with you after Nick. By the stone, these 2 are some dirty pervs. Can we just get out of here before? The opening of the engine room made me shove Astral behind some drapes in shock. Turning, I found Julie coming in with some metal. Dagna. Julie, looking good. What are you doing here? She gave me a confused look. Nick asked me to make some runes on steel for him. What are you doing here? Neria is going crazy looking for you and Astral. Oh, I was studying the runes down here. You know the runes down here are dangerous. Nick made it perfectly clear how dangerous these runes are on the 2nd day. I could feel the sweat roll down my face. I know I should have taken that lying class Nick was giving. She gasped, making me tense. Are you helping Nick with his secret project? Secret what now? She points to the tarp behind me. It had dozens of runes and signs to ward people away, the same tarp I pushed Astral in. Oh no, he hasn't even let me help him. She grabbed me and gave me a good shake. I'm so jealous. You have to tell me everything. She grabbed my ass and brought me close. Wouldn't you tell me, Dagna? I'll do anything, gulp. Anything. Oh my, I'm pretty sure I can guess something. Well, She massaged my buns and nibbled my ear. Nick will never know. Or maybe he will. Damn, she sounds amazing. Do you want him to watch as I take you? A little hanky-panky couldn't hurt. We were interrupted by Astral stumbling out of the tarp. Astral, there goes my fun time. So dark, she whimpered. She put me down and rushed to her. Astral, did you go in there? Dagna, what's going on? And tell me the truth, young lady. We kinda, well. You were humping. I wouldn't say that, only making out, mostly. Hug. Astral stretched her hands at Julie. Oh, sweetheart. She lifted her up like a child. Dagna, you're grounded. Wah, but. No buts. Coming down here to make love is fine. Nick and I do it all the time. Seriously, but lying to me about runes, you'd be lucky to see the rune lab in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Come on, sweetie. She petted Astral. Nick doesn't joke about his security systems. 2 weeks. Foo. / Nick POV. I was fully expecting Mother Base to be on fire, but everything looked good. Spending most of the day in the Dryad's dungeon chopping down redwood trees using my golems. I collected enough trees to build 15 villages, and a little bit of gold, being overpowered is fun. Waving Shale and Sten a hello, getting a nod from both. Walking into the house, I found Astral and Dagna tied up watching TV. Everyone was around them making sure they didn't run. Dogmeat ran over to Princess and Pancake, sniffing and licking them to the point they pushed him away with their paws. Honey, I'm home. Astral destroyed the fridge. Dinner, hopped her it. Morrigan snapped her fingers. Op 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 op. Not so fast, Maury. Neria, you're an amazing investigator. What we got? Pretty much an open and shut case. Sky's nose, superior nose, gave us the lead that led to Astral, that, and we have eyewitnesses. She pointed at Nat, Dagna, and Ayla. Astral, dragon homeowner. Astral, mistress of doom, Strider. Ailments. Shock. Ligophobia. Anxiety. I placed my hands on her cheeks. Astral, honey sweetie baby, are you okay? What happened? I asked the room. Dagna, she looked away. Neria. Clothes, she demanded. I rolled my eyes. Jack. According to Julie, she was making out with Dagna down in the engine room. Caught them in the act, and she pushed her into your secret projects area, and well. She gestured to Astral. Dagna, I'm okay with you using my engine room for some hanky-panky, but I told you how dangerous my projects room is. I'm sorry. Oh damn, I think she's crying. Okay, Julie, did you give her any punishments? No rune lab for 2 weeks, she answered. Fine, add dish duty for those 2 weeks. Setting her free, I gave her a hug. Learn from this. She nodded. Moving over to Astral, I healed her. Her eyes seemed to regain some of her life. Astral, are you okay? She hugged me, nuzzling next to Dagna. Astral, why didn't you tell me you broke the fridge this morning? I thought you were going to kick me out. I like it here. I let out a long breath and patted her on the head. I'm not going to kick you out. I reassured her. You've seen Morrigan, she's been poking at everything she could get her hands on. I might get upset, but I would never throw you out. Okay, she nodded. Good. You're also on dish duty. Dish duty. Dagna will fill you in. Now Kaelin, Theron, Duncan, please give our final goodbyes to the elves, we're leaving tonight. They nodded. When did I become an adult? // It would take 2 days to get back to the tower. Good thing too, Serida nearly ripped off Okran's beard after morning training when he slapped her ass. He cursed about it was a compliment and that she should be happy someone like him would find her good looking. It took Theron, Duncan, Shale, and I to hold her back. Landing, Dagna called out, gripping the controls in a death hold. You got this. Like the warthog, you got it off the ground, now you get to land. It's getting choppy, the ship rocked a little. You're fine, I've had Dagna lift off and land manually. You're a natural. What if we explode? Dagna, you can crash this ship into that tower and the tower will lose. Please don't, Wynne called out. She won't, she got this. Water landing, I repeat, water landing. A small flash in the holo screens lit up, indicating that we landed. Landing, we have landed. Good job, now float us to the land over there. I pointed to a spot away from the hamlet. No need to freak out the townsfolk more than necessary. She slowly piloted the ship to shore. Good, take it all the way to the shore like I did at the Dalish camp. But the bank? She can take it. She nodded, bringing Mother Base to a perfect stop. And just look that, you gained your flying license. I pulled out a plastic card with her face and information. I'm blinking in this photo. I know, you're adorable. She punched me. Is this one also on the wall of shame? Wall of shame, more like the wall of awesome apprentices. I'm the only one, and they're all embarrassing. What? Walking over to the wall, I pointed to a picture of her picking her nose. Beautiful. She reached for the frame only to be shocked. Damn it, Nick, please get rid of these. No way, Okran, let's meet your lady friend. Oh yeah, let's go show off some Okran. He was dressed in his armor and had his battle axe. I hit him with another cleaning scale. Stop doing that, Yarnug humping butt sniffer. Ladies can smell, Okran, and they like good smelling men. Look at me, Jackie, tell him. I like your natural musk, you strangely smell like the morning after a summer rainstorm day. What the hell does that smell like? Is it my char stat? Does it just make me smell good? What a weird thing to smell like. Really, he smells like fresh cookies to me. Julie added, see, thank you. I at least know what that smells like. He smells like food, Sky pointed out. That's a little scary. And like Julie and Jackie. You taste like them too. Or, that's pervy. He smells like a freshly made book, Neria said. A book, like freshly printed. Okay, yeah, horny sniffers. I get it, Okran huffed. Horny sniffers. Dagna and I will be seeing if there are any nice food places, Jackie called out from the couch. Yeah, and I and Ayla will be joining them, Julie added. Just remember to sign out. Alright, Okran, let's get you laid. He started giggling. I'm going to need some help. Zevran, you've just been recruited. He gave me a thumbs up, not looking away from Julie's smut book. He has a disbelieving look only to flip the book over with the pages unfolded showing a picture, making him go wide-eyed, and then nodding. You would think a flying island would cause more of a panic, but apparently, people here are used to crazy things happening so close to the Major's tower. The hamlet had about 500 people, and anywhere there are more than 10 people in one place, a bar can't be far away. There, Okran pointed to a house down the road. How can you tell? The place had no indicators that that was a bar. It looked like every other house. Kid, I don't tell you how you do your magic, don't tell me how to find a bar. True to his word, it was a bar. Walking inside, a bell sounded out telling the owner that they had a new guest. Good thing too we found it mostly empty, which I found strange. It couldn't be later than 7 p.m. Welcome to the Spoiled Princess. A voice from the back. Okran started rubbing his beard nervously. Calm down, you got this. Remember, if you have to brag, brag humbly. Do you guys have any traditions? Inside jokes? Something that will bring that spark back up? We used to call each other names. We like the dirty talk. I just nodded, to each their own. Zevran, test the waters. He nodded, smoothing out his eyebrows. Don't try to put the moves on her, Okran hissed. Be calm, my friend, you can trust me. He leaned over to me. Any woman who touched him has too many problems for my taste. What was that, you knife-eared nug licker? Okran growled. Nothing. Zevran waved away his comment and walked towards the counter. I patted Okran on the shoulder, calming him slightly. Try and add that you're over Branka, but as a man of honor, you couldn't love another woman until you were sure she was no longer among the living. He nodded. We heard a slap coming from the counter, finding a dwarf woman's arm outstretched and a smirking Zevran holding his cheek. I quickly passed Okran a small sack of gold. That's your cue. Here, buy her something nice. I'll be not too far away if you need me. He rushed forward, chest puffed out and cracking his fists. One small fake fight later, Okran was flirting with his lady friend. Well, I guess you could call it flirting by the loosest of terms. It sounded like arguing, but it ended with a sickening amount of making out. Zevran, tell me if I ever look like that. Oh God, they're dry humping on a table. Okay, I think Okran got this. Zevran got a good laugh on the way out. We ended up meeting up with Danga and Jack and walked back talking about anything that came to mind, from our next move to what we were going to eat tomorrow. Zevran talked about his time in Antiva and what it was like to be an assassin. Talked about his time in the brothels and how the women there raised him. Dagna talked about the ups and downs of being in the smithing class in Orzammar and how Belen was running the place according to her father. Jack and I talked about our time in Rezum and the people we helped and her mother's and sister-in-law's pregnancy. Reminding me to give Zevran a ring of love, he nearly gave me a kiss. Thankfully Jack was there to protect me. Jack and Julie have already given one to Alyssa and Morrigan. I forgot to give one to Okran. Oops. It'll be fine. //. The following morning Morrigan came up to me with a serious look in her eyes, while I was cooking breakfast. We need to kill Flemeth. No, she proceeded to shove Flemeth's book in my face. I slapped it away, sending it across the kitchen. What part of dangerous book do you not understand? And why did you take that out of the sealed room? Flemeth is planning to take over my body. That shut me up along with Theron, Ayla, Wynne, and Aidan, who showed up for first call. Maury, I sighed. What are you talking about? The book talks about how she raises daughters, and when they are old enough, she transfers her soul into her daughter. We need to stop her. Maury, that's impossible. Don't you remember what Caradon said? Two souls cannot inhabit one body. For her to take your body, she would need to kill you, and that will make your body a corpse. Your magic core will die out, making it pointless for her to possess. Unless she becomes a lich, but at that point, she has her own body. Jackie pointed out. Lich, Wynne asked. A nasty thing. It's an evil mage that rips out their souls from their body and shoving it into a phylactery. Jack explained. Why would they do that? Ayla looked horrified. 'Cause they're dumb as feck. Nick answered. They're scared of death. None of that matters. Morrigan interrupted. Flemeth is many centuries old. This might be the reason why. I'm not foolish enough to think I'm the only daughter she raised. I placed my hand on her shoulders and kept her from taking a swing at me. I'm cooking and didn't want her to make a mess. Okay, calm down. Do you know what you were asking? This is Flemeth we're talking about. From what I've been told, she's some kind of super mage. When I met her, she was so powerful that even my magic couldn't tell me anything about her power. All I can tell was that she made a pact with some sort of god or powerful entity. Are you saying she's unbeatable? Morrigan looked upset. I shook my head. Nah, what I'm saying is that even if we went to kill her, she probably has a contingency plan and no doubt has a piece of her soul somewhere safe and away from you. And you can't find her. You were able to find Fergus with some of my hair, Aidan added. Maybe, I'm not sure. She is super powerful, and she might have some kind of spell making it impossible for me to track her. The thing she made a deal with may not allow me to. Furthermore, how do you know where she is? Didn't she say that she was going to travel with a Chasen tribe? I know that in the game Flemeth stays in the same house in the wilds, but this is real life. With Morrigan in safe hands and with her and Aidan falling in love at first sight, the god baby was a done deal. She could have beat feet and waited somewhere safe for all this to blow over. I don't know. All I know is that she put a lot of power in that house, and she doesn't like wasting power. I doubt she would leave it to rot. I looked her in the eyes and she looked back unflinchingly. Fine, we'll go, but I'm going to try and talk this out and get her to leave you alone. And if she doesn't, I'm running away and shoot her with the Kyber cannon, from 10,000 feet in the air. She has a book. I let out a long groan. Of course. The book we have known only has lesser spells. I believe she has more powerful spells with her. Please. Finn. Thank you. You're a good brother. I'm the best brother. Aidan, get this brat out of here. She punched me. I take back what I said. You're a butt face. I laughed. Too late. I heard you. Ayla spread the news. Morrigan finds me to be the best older brother. Tell Alyssa and Callian they've been dethroned. Ayla waved her hands back and forth. Hold on. Kaelin's Alistair's older brother, right? Duh, I and Morrigan said at the same time. Please don't spread that around. It could cause a political catastrophe, Duncan called out walking into the room. Oh, Kaelin doesn't do a good job at it. So, I thought it was an open secret, like how Morrigan moved all her things into Aidan's room. What? How did you? Morrigan looked shocked. You weren't very subtle. You were moving dozens of clothes at once. Wynne pointed out. I wondered why I had an extra drawer, and I just thought you didn't want to go all the way to your room to have a change of clothes. Why didn't you tell me? I would have been fine with you moving in. Aidan chuckled at Morrigan's move-in plan, giving her a hug. She hid her blushing face in his chest. Yes, very cute. Now get out of here before you spoil my food with all your sweetness. Ocran returned around 3 in the afternoon with the biggest smile I have ever seen. Giving out compliments that didn't make people's skin crawl, laughed at Alistair's dumb jokes, didn't drink any alcohol for over an hour, and when he didn't chug it down like it was water, and he wasn't a man dying from dehydration. Damn, he really needed a woman in his life. Punching in the coordinates for Flemeth's shack, I became worried. Flemeth is a stupidly powerful being. It's true that the Warden defeated her in the game, but I think she let them beat her. With Flemeth having an extra body with the Hawks and wanting to give Morrigan her grimoire, it only made logical sense to give up her body. I just don't want her to come to the conclusion that I might throw whatever plan she has going on, and thinking that killing me then and there would be for the best. The flight there took 2 days. It would have been shorter, but I had to be ready. I used that time to get one of my projects finished. I'd rather not get caught flat-footed. The car flight down was intense. No one said anything. I was flying down with Aiden, Theron, Shale, Sten, Okran, and Leliana. Sky flew next to us. I know it looked like I was going to war, but I wasn't going to take any chances, not with the Witch of the Wilds. Mother Base was parked about 4,000 feet above Flemeth's hut ready for me to call down hell. I don't know how many defenses Flemeth had, but I doubt it could withstand a hit from my cannon. I landed about half a mile away and drove up to the hut. My intuition told me that Flemeth has some sort of air defense, probably for dragons. And like before, she was standing in front of her house like she hasn't moved an inch since we left, still looking old as dirt. Ah, so, you have returned. Human, elf, divine, mortal, warlock, cleric, paladin, sorcerer, abomination. Flemeth aka Witch of the Wild, Mother of Vengeance, Ashabelina, Mythal. Age, 624. LVL. This being is too powerful to read. Run. Flemeth is a shapeshifter, known as the Witch of the Wilds, Mother of Vengeance among the Chastened, and Ashabelina, Woman of Many Years, in Elvish. She is widely recognized as the eponymous character of an age-old legend, described variously as extremely powerful and long-lived or even immortal, and having many daughters, all of whom are witches like their mother. She knows why you're here. No one said anything for a while, ratcheting up the tension. Must you make it so dramatic? She smirked at my glare. You know why we're here. Morrigan, I presume. Fool girl tends to jump most conclusions. No doubt she said something crazy. She said you raise daughters so you can take her bodies to prolong your lifespan, Aiden answered, drawing her attention and allowing Leliana and Theron to move to a flanking position. She just cackled. Child reads one old book and she thinks she knows all. So, you came for my grimoire. Why don't we come to an arrangement? You tell my fool daughter that you came here and killed me like you said you would take the grimoire, and we won't meet ever again. You wish for us to lie to Morrigan, Aiden said with gritted teeth. She laughed. Oh yes, lying to her is so much fun. What do you say? What do you want with her? I asked, giving Aiden a moment to calm down. What does it matter to you, Plain Walker? Why does any of this matter to you? You can leave this place anytime you want. Why are you here? Because my little sister needs me to save her from a monster. That's all you need to know. Now tell me, what do you want from her? My intimidation skill was at full power. She just cackled. So scary, but my plans are my own. So, are you going to take my deal? Aiden answered her by taking out the flaming, poisoning, raging sword of doom. That got her to pause. That blade is no joke. Fine, if you would allow a lady to. She was cut off by my haki-covered fist dashing into her face. This isn't an anime where I let her reach her final form. I wanted to kill her fast and without mercy. Aiden didn't miss a beat and followed up with a slash that would have removed her head from her shoulders, but she was able to fade step away. My, aren't you boys quitch? She was cut off by an arrow piercing her chest. Nice shot, Lily. I dashed forward again, but she exploded into light, forcing me to break right and gain some distance. Where once was an old withered woman, stood a 45-foot black dragon with teeth so long and sharp they might as well have been made of swords. Here we go. Releasing a roar so powerful that it made my bones vibrate, I summoned my ace from my inventory, a 10-foot suit of power armor with Hulk-busting action. The fact that it looked like Optimus Prime was just a bonus. She started the real fight with a huge wave of fire meant to roast us, but was blocked by a wave of ice courtesy of Sky in her full dragon form coming down from the sky. Steam flooded the battlefield, blinding everyone for a moment, but with my IFF I knew where all my comrades were. Aiden, Sten, Shale, and Okran rushed forward, coming at her from opposite sides. Earth bent her feet into the ground, making it harder for her to dodge. A bolt of lightning flew from the steam, slamming into her face courtesy of Theron, and arrows peppering her face thanks to Lily. Dashing forward, I jumped into her back, unleashing a blade from my robo-bracer, stabbing into her left wing, making sure she couldn't fly away. She only had to fight one of us in the air. She was outnumbered on the ground. Angered, she tried bucking me off, but with her dug into the ground it was a weak effort. That was when Okran, Sten, and Aiden reached her, stabbing into her ribs. She released a roar so powerful that it blasted me off of her. Danger sense exploded in my mind, trying to warn me of upcoming danger, but like Spider-Man I couldn't dodge every blow. I got up just in time to be slapped by her tail, launching me into the woods. You have been struck by Flemeth for 800 points of bludgeoning damage. Prime armor has medicated 100% of the damage. You have taken 0 damage. Warning, prime armor has taken damage. 4,200 and 5,000ths durability. Power at 95%. I boosted this thing to the max. Every bolt, every steel sheet, every gear, anything that has a place for a rune, I put one. This bad boy is powered by 6 mini-arc reactors, activating the thrusters, flying back into the battle. A red-hot beam flew into the sky. Shale must be using her weaponry. Pulling out the rest of my bracer blade, which formed onto a sword, I lock onto Flemeth's back, who was unleashing fire at Sky, keeping her at bay while simultaneously beating back the people on the ground with her tail and freed front legs. Aiden was not making it easy. Any time she missed crushing him, he would slash at her arm, setting it aflame. Using the element of surprise, I performed a thunder drop. It wasn't really a skill, it was just me coming down at full speed, blade in hand, aiming for her back. She must have had a sixth sense or something, because she broke free from her constraints just in time to escape my attack, leaving me wide open for her next attack. Grabbing my head with her claw, she proceeded to repeatedly slam my head into the ground. Warning, durability at 3900, 3500, 3200, 3000, 2700. I'm just glad that it wasn't my real head. Her moment of head-crushing joy was interrupted by a flying Okran sinking his axe into what remained of her damaged wing, cutting it off completely. Using the moment of her screaming into high heaven, Sky dropped from above, sinking her teeth into her neck, cutting off her scream, and toppling her into the ground, right into the path of a rushing Aiden's sword held high, wreathed in flame. And down came the sword into her eye. There was no, "I'll be back." No, "You haven't seen the last of me." No, "You will rue the day you crossed me." She just twitched and then slumped. You have killed a piece of Flemeth. You have gained 100,000 express, polymorphing, and you. Written by Deacon Ralston, 1 gold loot box, and the attention of Mithil. That last one sucked. Unsummoning my armor got me out of Flemeth's death grip. Double tap. I screamed. I know that she's dead, but I wasn't taking any chances. Sky stomped on her neck, crushing it, and Aiden gave it one more good swing. We all just took a moment to sit there, waiting for another shoe to drop, but nothing happened. Theron, Lily, Book, watch out for traps. They nodded, slowly making their way into the hut, checking every inch for traps. Roll call. Who needs healing? Turns out Sky had a nasty gash on her ribs, Sten had a broken arm, Okran had a serious concussion, Shale was sparking in some places, but the self-repair rune was working just fine. Aiden had some cuts but was relatively fine. Theron and Lily had some first-degree burns but was fine otherwise. Feck me, even with all these injuries, I'm certain Flemeth was just toying with us. This fight pushed me to level 51, and it kept raising due to my golem's crushing dark spawn, if significantly slower. As I grew in levels, the amount of express kept getting bigger and bigger, but still, it was a constant gain. Upon returning to base, Sky and I were swarmed by Jack, Nat, Ayla, Dagna, Astral, and Julie, who hugged me so hard I thought they were going to break one of my ribs. They were watching from the base. Ayla and Nat were checking on Sky, making sure she was okay. You fought an elder dragon. Astral was playing with my face like it would come off, revealing that I was a dragon all along. And you lived. Maybe we are related, for only someone related to the great Astral Strider could do something so amazing. I just laughed and brought her into a hug. And don't you forget it. All I saw was you getting smacked around. Morrigan drawled, releasing herself from Aiden's brace. I waved her over and she joined our family hug. I'm glad you didn't die, and making sure Aiden returned, she whispered. But if you tell anyone I said that, I'll turn you into a frog. Alright people, Al-Aman is on his way to Danerum. I'm going to have Mother Base find and follow his cruising altitude. If you have something to do before we reach Danerum, best get it out of the way now, because when we get there, we're going to be staying a while. Finding the Al wasn't hard. I just followed the highway leading from Redcliffe going north, avoiding Lothering, and heading northeast off the highway leading straight to Danerum. What once was an army of 30,000 was now at least double that. Aemon must have gained recruits on his way to Danerum. He probably sent runners through villages and hamlets to recruit all able bodies that could swing a sword. At this estimate, he would reach Danerum within the month. Low gain POV. What is wrong with these fools? Can't they see I only want what's best for Ferelden? Kaelin was a child. If it wasn't for Mayanora, this whole country would have fallen in on itself. I don't know what magic the wardens used to make a copy of that fool, but I won't be tricked. Sir, our scouts have spotted Al-Aman and his army heading to Danerum. Ah, Sir Cawthron, my most loyal lieutenant. Finally, someone with some level of competence. How far? They should be here by tomorrow evening. Aemon is no fool, at least I didn't think he is, but if he really believes that thing, calling itself Kaelin, then he's the biggest fool. He is throwing Ferelden into chaos, allowing Orlais get a foothold while he's playing politics. And the wardens? We're not sure. This flying island has been spotted all over Ferelden, but as soon as we get on message, another one pops up saying they're somewhere else. Any ravens we get should be taken with a grain of salt. Damn it, where did those wardens get that monstrosity? How do I stop something that can fly over any wall? The only lead I got on flying islands was from the Tevinter slavers in the alienage, and they told me that their islands they have can't be controlled and only float in the sky. Get me How. She bowed and left my study. I don't like How, too much of a weasel, but he was able to find evidence that the Kuzlans were planning to join Orlais in a coup against Ferelden, and the truth about how Aemon's wife was planning to let Orlesians into Ferelden. It's a shame both plans failed to kill all those traitors, but at least we knew the enemies of the state. Still, it hurt me so, finding out Bryce and Eleanor were planning to betray their home. Your Majesty, How said, walking into the room. Don't call me that. My daughter is still queen. I am just helping her through this troubling time. Right, sorry, you just looked so much like Marek for a moment. Don't forget it, Aemon's a day away, the wardens are not far behind. What do you say about their capabilities? He had a nervous look. Well, it's hard to say. The walls can keep an army from taking over Danerum, but it is still heavily damaged from the war. It may be best to defeat him in the Landsmeet. That way when he loses, we don't have any casualties as well as his army. Very well, we'll meet him at the gates tomorrow, but be ready. I don't know what those wardens are up to. He bowed and walked out head low. Tomorrow. Nick POV. Today is the day. Nearly a month and we're here. Danerum. The city of the broken mountain looked better. More color, vibrant cityscape, running water. Danerum had a lot to be desired, but to be fair, I'm looking at it from a holographic screen 14,000 feet from the ground. It might be better on the ground. This month was filled with mostly training and relaxation. It would have been wildly different if we had to march with the troops, but we had a flying island. Miss me with that nonsense. Julie and I were able to finish Shales. Upgrade. Had to heal poor Sten for a week straight. Didn't stop us from making him the butt of our jokes for that time. Shale was smiling a lot more though. She even wore some large shirts. They were definitely Sten's. Dagna, Theron, Neria, and Jackie have reached the hilt creation stage of their arcane warrior skills and have at least cut themselves once playing with them. Nat began joining us for magic lessons. She said she did it because she wanted to use her mage hand to fool with people, but I think she liked the attention. With her being the new kid on block, everyone was giving her our full attention. Magic's no joke. Don't play with fire, kids. Ayla, Sten, Aiden, and Alistair have been training their swordsmanship. I gave Aiden full permission to use the flaming poisoning raging sword of doom, but only in emergencies. Man had it strapped to his back all the time. it was going to be a hard time trying to get it back when all this is over with. Alyssa, Wynne, and I grouped up to make better healing skills. While I preferred my healing hands, we came up with some decent area of effect healing skills. Morrigan and I worked together to try and recreate my inventory, but found it impossible. When she asked how I did it, I answered with the simple and truthful answer of, a higher force. It annoyed her, but she got over it after we made her a bag of holding. Lily, Sky, Astral, and I went on a crazy clothes-making journey together. I mean, we didn't leave Mother Base, but with my crafting skills and prestidigitation we made everything from scrunches to shoes. We were going to have to sell most of it, much to Lily's chagrin. Sky and Astral were just there to model all the jewelry, which they kept. Serida and I have been training out in the yard, fighting without earth-bending. I was slowly but surely weeding her away from needing her war hammer. We even got to know each other more. She still felt guilty for what happened at Orzammar, so for 30 minutes each day after training we would just talk, doesn't matter what about, just talk. Sometimes someone would join us, but it was mostly us two. Kalen and I would go on for hours about making things for Ferelden. He wanted Daenerys to outstrip Val Royeaux in beauty. I told him I could help, but I would have to need an army of workers and men and women who could maintain it after I left. We came to an understanding that I would practice on the alienage, since he believed the elves were in the most need of new living accommodations. No doubt also for a test run, less chance the humans would care, and he saw the village I sat on Arl Aemon's lap at Redcliffe. Duncan and I would talk in private about how I would be able to cure the taint in the older wardens. I talked about how Ayla was getting better at her powers and is slowly working her way to be able to cure it herself, but if all else fails I would have a surefire way of removing the taint. After that, we would go on about our journeys and how we got here. He was just fascinated by the world outside of Thedas. After Sky got her week of fun, she became more relaxed. She would no longer crush Astral in any of her challenges, and would even lose some on purpose. Astral would then go on a crazy gloating rampage, and would need to be beaten in something before she would come crashing back to Earth. I would go out on flight with both of them. They hated being lodged in too long. They would always return so happy, especially if we fly over a farm, because they would steal sheep and cows. I, of course, being the adult, would have to first calm the farm and then pay them. Not all of them would want money, but when finding out I'm a healer I would be made to check everyone's health in the farmstead, animals included. I found out that half-elves weren't as uncommon as I thought. Many just lived in the farms outside of villages. I would still leave a little bit of money, if no one was sick or injured. News traveled quick. Ravens probably. Some farmers would leave some of their older and weaker livestock out longer than usual, so if Sky or Astral would come down from the sky and eat them, that would get a free healer's visit. Crafty, got to respect that. Zevran, Okran, Wynne and I made a distillery in one of the rooms. I'm not sure what they teach in the tower, but brew crafting must have been one of those things. We made over 100 barrels of whiskey, which Wynne did some kind of time spell, speeding up the time it would take for them to be ready. Okran broke into tears. When I asked Wynne what kind of spell that was, she only said that it was for senior enchanter and that if I wanted to know I would need to join the tower. I waved her off. Keep your secrets. And finally, 3 days ago Aidan removed Zevran's braces. It was an intense scene. Zevran broke down at Aidan's compassion, believing he would live with him forever. What a drama queen. Still, he felt 100 pounds lighter and danced around the training room like a phantom. But all that was in the past. For today's the day Aemon and his growing army would reach Daenerys. All right, ya freeloaders and ladies. We're here, follow me. I led him down the stair into the engine room. Now you may have noticed that I come down here for most of the day. You shouldn't play with yourself so much. Ya might go blind. I pointed at Okran. Shut up. You've been playing with yourself for 20 years, and if you haven't gone blind, I doubt I will. That got a chuckle from some of the people following us. No, what I'm talking about is my personal project. Finally, Julie, Neria, and Dagna screamed. For a month I kept them in the dark. Jack just laughed. Opening the door I led him to my red velvet tent of mysteries. Astral hid behind Sky, clearly remembering what happened last time she walked into that thing. I got this idea when we were in the deep roads. You enjoy suspense, don't you, Sir Nicholas? I smirked at Serida. Is this our first time meeting, Serida? Because if it is, how you doing? I gave her a smolder, causing her to blush. You are a beast, Sir Nicholas. Do you not have enough paramours? Will you try and seduce me too? She glared. Yes, 100%, I said with a straight face. Taking her aback, Julie's been wanting to get 3 of a kind, and I love her so she gets what she wants. Oh, thank you, Nikki, Julie gushed. That and she scares me. So, pucker up. Serida backed up only to bump into a grinning Sky. Nicholas, can we skip your flirting? Duncan smirked at our banter. Yes, yes. Anyway, it's thanks to you, Duncan, that this project even came into existence. Behold. / Amon POV. Daenerys, I would have never thought I would have to lead another army this way. And yet here I am. Ahead of me, I spotted Logain and Howe on a horse moving to meet me. Seeing as they didn't meet me with an army, I'm guessing this is a welcome. Amon. Tyron Logain. I hope my voice was as cold as the Frostback's tips. I see you brought an army. I hope you don't think I can house them. These are men and women of Ferelden. Sleeping in a field won't scare them, it will only make them stronger. Where are the wardens? Where is this, Kaelin? That's King Kaelin, I growled, and they should be here soon. You are a fool, Amon. Kaelin died at Ostagar. You mean you hope? Kaelin survived him and the Grey Wardens. They found an impossible ally and they have been gathering an army to stop the blight before it gets a chance to grow. And where are they? No, he was cut off by an ungodly screech. Looking at the sky, I saw a tiny glimmer. What is that? The screeching sounded again. There, someone screamed out from the crowd. Looking around, I found Nicholas's island come out of a cloud. It never fails to take my breath away. Sir, there, following the soldier's finger, I finally spied the early glimmer. By the Maker, griffins. No, not only griffins. In the lead was Kaelin riding in a Mabari the size of a Druffalo. It was also made of metal and its paws were wreathed in flame, leaving a trail of fire as it ran through the sky. Around him, the wardens rode metal griffins, looking like legends of old, and behind them were an assortment of different machines and beasts also made of steel carrying a passenger through the skies, riding flames. Kaelin was the first to land, Maker. He looked just like his father, battle-hardened, steely-eyed, no nonsense. Even Logain froze looking at him. Where is my wife? Traitor. His voice was cold and filled with fury. It took some time for Logain to snap out of it. Watch who you talk to, monster. How hiss. I am King Kaelin Terran, son of King Terran and Queen Rowan Garin, and I am the rightful king of Ferelden. And you are a traitor and a liar. Kaelin shouted so loud it silenced the thousands of soldiers behind me. Where is my wife? The Mabari under him released a low growl that made my bones vibrate. And if I don't tell you, will you force it out of me? Logain was cool as Frostback Mountains. Kaelin scoffed. I have people for that. A 35-foot dragon with scales bright as snow landed behind them. How did I miss her? Looking at the dragon in its sapphire gleaming eyes, her face flashed through my memories. Sky Skipper, I have never seen her in her full form. Another dragon 25 feet in height landed next to her. She contrasted heavily with Sky's color scheme, scales as black as the night that seemed to eat all the light around it, and eyes the color of rubies. The soldiers were shifting behind me. I don't blame them, dragons are no joke. If Honora's hurt or in pain, I will rip you limb from limb. I would never hurt my daughter. But you would leave your king to die, you side with traitors. He growled at Howe, who flinched away, and tried to take the crown, driving Ferelden into civil war amid a blight. You have lost your mind. Move, I need to find the woman I love, and if you get in my way, I'll remove you from this planet. Amon wanted me to play nice for the Landsmeet, to bring peace, and ease the conflict, but if my wife is injured, nothing will stop me from finishing you. He turns to Howe. Let it be known, Rendon Howe is a traitor to Ferelden. All lands he owns are forfeited, and is now an enemy of the state. You can't do that, you don't have the right. Howe yelled, looking back and forth, looking for an escape. He's right, As the land's meet is ongoing, the king has no power to make such decision. Loghain corrected. Not yet, but make no mistake. If you try and leave Daenerys, your head will roll. The look he gave was dead serious. Now, unless you're going to tell me where my wife is, get the void out of my face. The dragon moved out of the way, allowing them to ride back to the gates. Aemon, Nick's going to make some shelter for the soldiers. Have the word spread. How doesn't leave. He and his group leaped into the sky, heading into the city. Amazing. N. Daenerys arc is here. Man, this took me some time, but I got to it. Getting into the mind of Loghain was harder than I thought. That made it super paranoid and sees all ice in just about anything and everything. He justifies a lot of terrible things just because he thinks you're gonna be attacked any minute. I don't exactly blame him. Gaspard literally talks about wanting to attack Ferelden again, but I feel like he's taking it too far. I make art of this FIC, check it out in my DeviantArt profile, link in my bio. Please review.